Here's a good question that I'm asking myself today, and one that I think everybody should ask themselves. How does one bring forth honor? How would you bring forth honor and remedy as a man or a woman? How would you do it? What's the first thing you would do? I think, for me, extending the olive branch is a way of doing that. Difficult to do in some contexts, for sure, but even when we're clearly in the wrong, or if someone else is clearly in the wrong, extending that olive branch goes a long way to resolving whatever conflict there may be, or misunderstanding, disagreement, when disagreeing is not the ultimate goal, when you can't just walk away. So, what does that look like? Well, in practical terms, suppose someone was careless and just ran into me. I don't know, I'm just trying to make up a scenario here, but suppose I was walking into a store and someone was in a rush and was coming out at the same time and flung open the door and sort of hit me, not enough to cause harm or damage, but just enough to be, it was a careless move. The reaction would be, hey, what the F? And to sort of, not attack, but to counter this offense or perceived offense in a like manner. But maybe the better thing to do would be to bring forth honor and show that you're seeking remedy. And that could be done by, first of all, it's difficult to do, but apologizing even when you're not in the wrong. I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that I was not there, right? It almost can come across sarcastic a little bit, but regardless of how it's interpreted, you're showing that, okay, if I was actually in the wrong here somehow, I apologize. I apologize in advance if for some reason this is my fault. And it's not always about whose fault is it, but there is a certain level of accountability that needs to be recognized, especially when there is a careless mistake. And if it's an accident, it's an accident. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has accidents once in a while. It should be up to both to resolve it in a way that, you apologize and you try to make it right, and you move on. And if it was an accident that was serious enough, then you may have to bring compensation or some type of aid. But the point being is that we come forth as an honorable man or woman saying, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. If this was my fault, I'd be happy to make things right. It's hard to know what you would say unless you're actually in that situation, but it would be something like that. And you see those that are honorable and those that are not so honorable when you have these sort of things where people run into each other. And then you have both parties apologizing. Both men or women will apologize at the same time. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was my fault. No, it was my fault. We should have. How about we both just watch where we're going? That's what I'm talking about. Oops, we had an accident. We realized that we were both somewhat at fault, even though one of them may have been paying attention, and then this other person's just coming towards them. Whatever it is, that's a lot different than, hey, watch where you're fucking going, asshole. No, you watch where you're going. Both of those people are not honorable. Now, if that happens, oh, so sorry. Yeah, you should be sorry. Watch where you're going. See how that's one-sided? And if it's the one that was not paying attention that caused it to happen, but yet the other brings forth honor and remedy and is rejected, then that's that's a second offense. Now it's time to, okay, now I realize like what sort of man or woman I'm dealing with, so I'm not gonna be as nice about it. But always try first to, and that's not to say when it doesn't go your way or it doesn't go the right way that you should be mean to that other man or woman, or you should be condescending or lose your cool, or, God forbid, get violent in some way. But it's to say, okay, listen, you just got in my way, and I tried my best to be courteous and polite about it, but if you're going to be an asshole about it, then we can talk about damages or pressing a claim of trespass by way of whatever, assault, extortion, whatever it might be. And yes, of course, it's very law for mankind, very sovereign's way. But that's the beauty of this program, is that it forces you to confront these parts of yourself that you may not be willing to fully look at, let alone embrace. Most people wouldn't know what to do in that type of situation, and it's not to say you should have a plan exactly, but you should have a basic idea of how you would react. Just the same as if you had an unpleasant encounter with a public servant who was trying to act more as a quote-unquote leader and trying to exact some type of authority. It's the same idea. We might think in our minds that we'd react a certain way, we'd say a certain thing, but it's like the old expression. I love this expression because it's so true, is everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. So have your plan, and that's fine, but realize that that plan needs to be flexible, needs to be permeable, and really you don't need a plan if you're just operating from a place of love and doing what's right and speaking truth. It becomes very simple.